foam. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again. It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years. The Red Sox are world champions. From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
This is the Inside the Sox podcast, and now, here's your host, Kevin Baver.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Inside the Sox, presented by the Grandstand Productions, and we have a jam-packed episode today. Jam-packed episode. I'm Kevin Baver, always with me. My man, Rob. I'm going to go around the circle. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to go around the little circle. Rob, my man Harrison, what's going on, Harrison? And then, as always, our production, our mudslide lover, our whatever you want to call him, our man Justin is in the background, doing all the gritty work for us. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good, a nice little Thursday evening. It's just been a chill day, no classes, just a fun chill day, pretty much.
It's a fun day, and it's been an interesting week and I feel like, we've kind of been saying that all off season because this Red Sox team is it's coming together and it's looking very, very interesting. Looking very, very interesting. So let's go straight first. I guess we'll switch it up. Let's talk winter weekend first. And then we'll get into Mondesi trade and we'll go from there. So last weekend, the Red Sox held their 2023 winter weekend. Justin says winter weekend was a vibe. Met Benny, met Jared. We already planning for next year. Very, very cool. I want to talk about the first night, the town hall meeting. The noises coming from Twitter when Haim and Henry and Kennedy, not gonna say anything bad about Kennedy, wasn't good. A lot of fans upset. People were reporting that Haim couldn't get through couldn't get through two sentences without getting booed. John Henry made some comments as to why ticket prices are so expensive, and he said, well, that's because baseball players are expensive, which is, from an economic standpoint, I get it. It makes sense, but as a fan, you're just kind of like, but you let a guys walk out of that locker room that you didn't want to pay, and a lot of guys we brought in aren't exactly on long-term deals, obviously, aside from Raffy. So let's just talk about, I know Justin was at winter weekend, so if he wants to give us his input, but let's just go around. What did you guys hear? What was the vibe that we got from winter weekend? It seemed fun. It seemed great, but it seemed like the team players were excited, but and there was a lot of people that were upset with the front office. So, Rob, go ahead. Start us off.
Winter weekend always looks fun. I always watch it on TV every year when it comes on. One thing I want to do, I was going to go, but then I saw Uber for $130 for to go there. So maybe next year I want to get my license. I have my license in plan, so I'll be driving there. You'll see me.
There you go.
But what I think about the winter weekend, from what I've seen a lot of boos for Chaim Bloom, who I don't think deserved it much. I think John Henry definitely did deserve the boos for especially after that comment. He deserves all the boos. Like, come on, that's very distasteful when you talk about like baseball players are very expensive. Like, yeah, obviously they're expensive. That's just like that's part of life. Baseball's changing. The players are getting better. The money is getting dished out more because obviously those players deserve the money. I feel like though. I like the activities that they do. I feel like every year, getting to meet the players there seems awesome. Jared Carrabis was answering questions on the stage. He stayed. I saw Corbin's vlog. Shout out to Red Sea Radio. That he's a great friend of ours. He was interviewing people over there and obviously interviewing Jared Carrabis. And he said Jared Carrabis stayed on the stage. He had reservations for dinner at 8:00 and he stayed until like 9:00. So everybody loves Jared Carrabis there. He's a great guy. And where it's just great to see the Red Sox fans coming together and celebrating a team that honestly, like you said the other episode, if everything clicks, this team could be a surprise a lot of people. And I think this year, especially with the additions that we've been having, could surprise some people.
Could surprise some people. Harrison, what are your thoughts on Winter Weekend?
I haven't watched. I only saw like the winter conference with Rob Rep Snyder, Chris Sale, Christian Arroyo, Nick Pavetta, and Trevor Story. I thought it was actually kind of fun as well. Seeing and also that Survivor stuff like that. It was actually pretty
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, that was
Um,
cool. That was cool.
Everything. I mean, yeah, but I saw a little bit of on Instagram the stories on the Red Sox Instagram, but everything else looks kind of cool. But I didn't know that I didn't know that Sam Kennedy or Bloom got booed for some reason. I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, dude. But I
It's
just love. Either way, I kind of liked it, even though because I live in the Carolina. How am I gonna go to Boston when I didn't have a
yeah.
ticket? I was like, but either way, the kids were pretty funny. My favorite one was like asking a question for Rafael Devers, even though Devers was not even on the freaking stage. I'm not gonna lie, that'll be me if I was 7 years old. I swear to
Oh,
God, dude.
absolutely,
But
absolutely.
either way, it was actually kind of fun. But it was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So were the boos, justified? When it I think Rob kind of hit the nail on the head, and Harrison too. Like to an extent with front office, and shout out to Carabas dude because he threw that question out. He looked at John Henry and he looked at Sam Kennedy and Hein Bloom and everybody on that stage, and he said, "Are the Red Sox your number one priority?" And John Henry kind of laughed, like, "Who are you to ask me that question?" Right? And of course, Sam Kennedy took the mic because he's just like the spokesman when it comes to the upper management. But yeah, shout out to Robis for asking that question because I thought it was a question that we all wanted to ask and we all wanted to know. Um, and Sam Kennedy, of course, said all the right things that we want to hear, and and he is who he is. Heim, the booze, I don't know if it's necessary, man. I really do believe that Heim has had his fingers. Oh, sorry. Justin says I saw Corbin and we talked about the John Henry comment. And we both agreed it was stupid. Yeah, just bad taste, man. And the guy's tone deaf. We've said that about John Henry. We've said that he's kind of tone deaf when it comes to the fans, when it comes to our perspective with the organization versus his. Um, but back to Heim. This is a guy that I really feel like is doing the best with what he's able to do. Heim has to answer to people. He has to answer to ownership. And yes, he is the head of baseball operations, but I don't know if Heim really had free range to do what he want. Would this team look different? I don't know, but he's putting together a very interesting roster, and we're gonna pivot now to the big news this week, was the Mondesi trade. So Rob, give us a little breakdown what happened with Mondesi.
The MLB The Show legend,
Yeah, the
Adalberto
GOAT. That's what you
Mondesi.
guys keep telling me, dude.
He is so good to use in MLB The Show. If you don't play Battle Royale, if you don't play MLB The Show, he has one of the glitchiest swings.
Yeah,
But no, if he performs the way he does in MLB The Show, this would be an amazing signing by the trade by the Boston Red Sox, I
yeah.
should say. I like Adalberto Mondesi. It's sad to see them part ways with Josh Taylor, who had that great 2021. But with relievers, you never know if they can be consistent or not. We're going to talk about another reliever later on down the line who had an issue with that. We'll wait for that. That's news that shocked us. But I think Mondesi's a great player. When healthy, he's a guy who has a lot of pop in that bat. He got great speed, and he plays an amazing shortstop defensively. Now, does that mean that you keep him at shortstop? Does that mean that when Trevor Story comes back, he becomes a shortstop again? We'll see how that goes. But I really think Mondesi's a big addition to this team. Obviously, it adds a lot of depth, and they even said that they're not done adding some infield depth. Obviously, we all know that they said Mondesi might not even be ready for opening day because obviously the only reason why is because he's recovering from ACL surgery.
Mm-hmm.
He should be back by the beginning of the year, a little bit after. So don't worry, guys. It's not like he's missing like a lot of time, but I think this is a good signing. When he's healthy, he's a guy who could add a lot of interest for the Boston Red Sox and add a lot of depth to that lineup. And he's a switch hitter, so it evens out too.
Evens out,
Yeah.
evens out. Harrison, what do we know about Mondesi?
I like it. Unfortunately, we had to trade our boy JT Josh Taylor, but
Yeah,
he was hurt the rest of the season with a back injury. But I learned something. If you're a pitcher and have really bad back injury, I don't think you won't last. You can't last
it's
with
tough.
that really bad back injury. But either way, I mean, like the Chaim Bloom move did, but he's not going to play on opening day, which is unfortunately that's what you call a Chaim Bloom trade. But I'm kind of happy. But if he could stay healthy for, I don't know, probably 159 games maybe, if he can stay healthy, we still have a shot. We still have a shot, and I love these people are just hating on us for some reason. But either way, I kind of like it. But if he could stay healthy, we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, and I just want to, so I want to talk to both spectrums, right? People who are upset about the trade and people who are ecstatic about the trade, right? So my man Rob is very ecstatic about, Mondesi, and I know why, because he is a freak athlete. He really is. I mean, he does have a little bit of pop in his bat. He plays a mean shortstop, and he is like Willie Mays Hayes, like fast, just on the field, like very, very quick on the field. What I'm afraid of is A, production, and B, health. Okay, so is production going to match what we really need out of a consistent shortstop? I don't know. And I also know, and this is something obviously that we agreed we were going to talk about. I think Kike was very, very excited to be the shortstop of the Boston Red Sox. With everything that happened with Xander, with everything that's going on, and we've heard rumors of him, in the recruitment process for some of these players, Duvall and Turner and stuff like that coming to Boston. And I think Kike really wants to just be the guy. I mean, he was at the Winter Classic with the Bruins and the Penguins and just hanging out, and doing that thing. He's really kind of become this, like, I'm not going to say face of the franchise, but he's always there. He's always there, and he's a great hype man. So we thought, is Kike going to be the shortstop this season, especially with Trevor Story going down with the elbow? Then we have Christian Arroyo. Then we have Duvall in center, and now we've added Mondesi. So, like, are we going to have this carousel, with center field, shortstop, and second base? What is that all going to look like? Talk to me about that, guys. I don't know how that. I feel like we need consistency somewhere. What's that going to look like?
It's going to be very interesting to see this team because there's so many options to plug anywhere. And it's giving me like a lot of vibes from 2021 when you had Schwarber at first base, platooning with Bobby Dahlbeck. You had a lot of different pieces moving around. I think what's going to be interesting to see is obviously you're going to have a guy like Kike Hernandez, who I'm repping right now, the City Connect jersey. I think he's going to be great at shortstop if they play him at shortstop. He even posted a highlight reel on his Twitter and Instagram with him playing shortstop. Obviously, came up as a shortstop with the
So
Marlins
cool, by
and the
the way.
Astro. It was great.
So
I
cool.
love
It was so cool.
I love Kike. We just made a video on our Grandstand Production YouTube video about Kike being possibly a captain option for the Red Sox. He's a leader in the clubhouse, and I think it would be cool. Obviously, I think that it's going to be interesting in center field. If Duvall has an amazing season, you're not going to want to plug him out of that lineup. Does that mean you put him at DH and you move guys in? Also, Justin says he has a theory that rolling out of the playoffs by time Trevor Story comes back, keep Kike at second base and shortstop and make Trevor the DH and flip JT at the deadline. I wouldn't want to trade Justin Turner. I think he's a great guy for that clubhouse.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we're contenders and we want to make a big push, I mean, it all depends on where it goes. But, like Adam Duvall in center field, like I was saying, if he has an amazing season, you don't want to take him out of the lineup. So does that mean you platoon him and Justin Turner at DH? Do you move Justin Turner to, like, first base, like they were saying, the first base option? Let's say Casas is doing not the best, which Casas I think will have a good year. But there's a lot of options for us, and I think that shortstop is obviously the biggest question mark. And then when you get Mondesi back, are you going to put him at second base? I saw a projected lineup. They had Story at second and Mondesi at short, and then another one had Mondesi at short, Story at second, and Kike not even in the starting lineup. But you want Kike as a starter, so it's it's concerning. I don't know where this team is going to go, but it's a lot of options, and it's good to have a lot of options. It's not a bad thing to have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And also, I just saw the Red Sox are already from Chris Cotillo. He mentioned that Roberto Perez, the Red Sox are showing interest there. They just signed a catcher.
Another catcher.
There's a lot of rotating positions, and I think this is good to have a lot of depth on your team, but we'll see.
It's not going to be like a Christian Vasquez as well.
I know you love Christian Vasquez. I know.
I know. We all love
Burrow,
Vaz. We always love Vaz.
So what were we saying, Mr. Kevin? Oh yeah, about the options that we have. About Kike on shortstop, because we already talked about him the last episode about Jose Altuve being a 5'4" midget, but I still think that but like Rob said, we have options. Options is still a good thing. We can move some. It's like a puzzle piece. You can move like
Mm-hmm.
the piece where does it need to go, and guess what? We can do that. But the one thing that we're gonna focus on, like, well, midway through the season, is the trade deadline. What
Mhm.
the frick are we going to do with this when we get to the trade deadline? Like that was the number two thing about it. But right now we're focusing on the number one thing right now. So, like Rob said, options is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that, guys. I'm 100% on board with it's better to have options than no options, right? Like last year, I felt like this team had a lot of no options. Duran was one of them, right? Duran in center, I felt like he was just thrown into that position, and that was like almost we had no other option, right? Whereas this year, it feels like at every position around the diamond, even in starting pitching, now in the bullpen, and we're going to talk about one of our boys that was DFA'd. Um, you know, we have a lot of options, and that's cool. However, a lot of options doesn't always necessarily accumulate to a lot of wins. So we know baseball is a game of high and lows. We know that it's a very analytical game, and a lot of guys need time, right? How are we going to get all these guys that we have seeing pitchers? Listen, I know they're professionals. I know that any one of them can wake up and know that they're going to start 3 hours later, and I have all the confidence that they can go out and do that. However, just to play devil's advocate, if all these options don't turn into wins come the trade deadline, and this is interesting too, a lot of these contracts are very, very short-term contracts. These are very unloadable contracts. Excuse me. Very unloadable contracts that, come the trade deadline, and for whatever reason this thing isn't clicking, which I don't think is going to be the case. I really do think that the Red Sox, just schedule-wise, and this team are going to be sneaky good. But come the trade deadline, we have a lot of options as far as what we want to do trade wise, if we do determine to be sellers. What do you guys think about that?
I think the Red. Oh, also he said, there's breaking news from Justin, by the way. He says Marcelo Myers ranked number 9 in the top 100 MLB prospects, and that's great to
Nice.
see. We have a top 10 prospect in Major League
There
Baseball.
we go. There we go.
Um,
And I believe only number 2 behind the Yankees Volpe, but we won't talk about that.
no,
He's number
we
one
don't
in
want to
our
talk
eyes.
about them.
He's
Those
number one in our
poverty
eyes.
franchise.
Yeah. Rob,
But go ahead, Rob.
tell us your
I
thoughts.
think at the deadline it'll be very interesting to see what the Red Sox do. If they overperform, which I think they will, I think they're going to perform better than
Yeah.
a lot of people think they're going to do. Are they
Mhm.
going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? I think if they got to be buyers if they're competing, because you need to add arms. If you're competing for a playoff spot, you got to be a buyer, especially at the deadline. Trade off a guy who has like a last year in his contract. Trade off a guy who's, like I said, had an expiring contract. Guys who are like you think are expandable, who you could trade. I think that when it comes down to it, you got to also think about the future too. But obviously, you want to build for the future. Trade for guys who have, like, let's say that guy, like, honestly, Juan Soto is not going to be traded. But I'm just hypothetically saying, like,
Yeah.
how last
Yeah.
year he was traded to the Padres. He had a couple years of club control, and you can help compete. There's plenty of players around the league who has an extra year or 2 years of club control that you could trade for that can not only help you win now, but win in the future as well. So there's a lot of moves that Heim Bloom could possibly make. Let's say if they are contending and they want to are in a win now mode, but also want to win in the future as well. And also, you got to think about this in the upcoming years. There's going to be some young talent coming up, like
Yeah.
Justin mentioned, Marcelo Meyer. There's Blaze Jordan. There's Nick York. There's Emmanuel Valdez who could come up this year. There's a lot of players that can make appearances. So this is going to be a fun, like, if they're competing right now, I would not be surprised if the Red Sox make a trade at the deadline like they did a couple years ago for Kyle Schwarber, or like other moves that they can make, because this team could compete. And if they're missing bullpen pieces still. Matt Moore's a guy that they're mentioning to talk to. If they add a couple pieces, or even if they trade at the deadline, let's say they're winning, trade at the deadline, this team could sneak into a playoff spot. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with what Rob's saying. Uh, yeah, what Rob said, I totally agree. So yeah.
I think listen, I think if you are in a position where the trade deadline rolls around and you make that decision whether you're going to be buyers or sellers, and I do believe this team is going to be good. I am one of those believers. I know people are knocking the deals that we've made. I know that we're, the signings that we've had, some of the trades that we've made, some of the, designated for assignments that we've done.
Yeah, and
I
also, when because we already know we signed Kike for like a 1 year deal. We know we signed Robbie Ref for a 1 year deal.
mhm,
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Kevin. So like,
go.
if you want to resign, if Kike does good this season, would you want to sign for another like 3 years or maybe like a 2 year?
Age wise, I'd probably be around the two margin. I
Two
think,
margin?
yeah, I think two would be fine. Listen, and I think we're all in an agreement that he's kind of become this subtle face of the franchise. I'm not saying he's the guy of the franchise. I think we know
No.
that's Rafael Devers and Chris Sale and some other people that have been around this team for a little while. But Kike Hernandez is a very, very fun guy. He's a very he loves Boston. He loves being here. He loves he's not a shy of attention. So if he comes out and has a productive year, I mean, don't forget that playoff run that he had, right? Of that absolute insane playoff numbers that he put out, and it just didn't wind up working out that year. This guy can catch lightning in a bottle at any moment. So I have no problem at the end of this year extending Kike for either 1 or 2 years. I wouldn't go more than 2 years just because of age. But yeah, definitely, I think he finishes his career in Boston. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, because I know we're gonna focus on the future though, but like, who has like their last year on their contract? I know Rob Refsnyder is because we know we signed for another 1 year. Kike Hernandez signed for a 1 year deal. Is Christian Arroyo does have a 1 year deal left? Is this his last year?
Chris Sale is obviously on his
Chris
last year
Sale,
deal, I think.
yeah, Chris Sale's on his
That's
last
gonna be
year.
honestly, that's gonna be a. I love Chris Sale, and I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, I think a lot of people are gonna agree with me. Some people might disagree. It might be a huge relief for the Red Sox, depending on how he performs this year. If he performs really well this year, I'd offer him a 1 year deal. But if he
Yeah,
doesn't like perform well, it's gonna be a huge relief because that contract that Dave Dombrowski offered him. Dave Dombrowski offered him. I think it was a obviously now looking at it at the time you were looking at it and thinking it's a good deal, which it was at the time because Chris Sale was healthy, he was pitching a
yes,
lot of innings.
yes.
But now it's like this is a terrible deal. Cost us probably a chance of signing some big free agents in the off seasons that passed. But now that contract's off the books. I believe the David Price contract is off the books because technically he hasn't retired yet, but he's saying he's stepping away from baseball, meaning he's retiring pretty much.
Hmm.
So a lot of the money that we owe players are going to be off the books. So I think right now, like this roster is going to shape up a little differently in 2024. But I rather focus on 2023 right now. We got a whole year to worry about
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah,
2024,
because
I would like to worry about in 2024.
2023
just
in this upcoming year is going to be. We have a lot of question marks, but like not in like a bad sense, right? Not in a bad sense of, well, who's going to lead off? No, we know Yoshi's going to lead off, right? Like, is Devers going to go into another contract year, and is this going to be a Xander Bogaerts thing all over again? No, it's not because we took care of that. What is starting pitching going to look like? Well, they're telling Tanner Houck to prepare himself as a starter. Now, is that just trade bait? I don't know. We have a lot of. It's back to the options things, and I don't want to beat it to death, but there's plenty of options with this team. Are there question marks? Absolutely. Every team has question
yes,
marks, right? But you want to, I guess, the volatile question marks you want to try to eliminate, and I think the Red Sox are trying to do that. They're trying to eliminate, the question marks of is this team going to be any good at all? Because right now we all think that they're going to be good. Justin just said, for those of you watching on YouTube, this is what 3 mudslides do to you. Don't drink, LOL. Yeah, Justin's having a good night. He's feeling good. He's had, he's down to a few mudslides and he's hanging out. But back to what I was saying, I mean, good question marks. That's good, right? It's okay to have good question marks. And this team, and I've been saying it, if it clicks, and I just want to throw this out there. Yes, I am a degenerate gambler. Yes, I'm working on it. But however, I was looking around at different over-unders, and I saw anything from 84.5 wins to 86.5 wins coming out of Vegas for the Boston Red Sox. So that's,
Double
to
down
me,
right now
that's,
on that
yeah.
easy money. Let's go.
I'm telling you right now, like that's, when I saw 86.5 wins, I'm going, these people have been ripping the Sox apart. Everybody's been ripping the Sox apart all off season. And here you go. You got Vegas saying that they could potentially win 85 or 87 games. You know, so I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good team. I hope it clicks. I hope it works, and we'll worry about the future once we get to it. All right, we're
Another
gonna
thing
have to
that I
talk.
noticed too.
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry to
bro.
cut you off. Game Day MLB, who posts a lot of like the Game Day. They post a lot of stuff. The Game Day put the Red Sox as bad but frisky, and I felt it offensive because in the category
Oh
they had
yeah,
them
I
with the
saw that.
Diamondbacks and the Royals. Like, are you serious?
Yeah,
And then, but yet they
yeah.
post that right after they post the Red Sox lineup is deep with the addition of Mondesi and without Story. I'm like, are you serious? Like, why? How do you go from one saying they're terrible to being like, oh, they're deep? Like, make up your mind.
Make up your mind, and then and listen. I'm not sticking up for him because I didn't like. I saw that graphic and I looked at it, and being in the same uh, category as the Diamondbacks and the Royals, I was like, you got to be out of your mind. You're talking about one of the most
Yeah.
major market teams. I understand a lot of people don't like the signings, dude. A lot of people don't like it. But when you look at F4, right, if you look at different projections, if you look at spray charts for these hitters, if you look at if Bello can become, Yoshida. Exactly. The Yoshida signing is huge. Nobody talks about it. Everybody says we overpaid for Yoshida. How do you know what his market value was? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. You take that risk with Japanese players.
Yeah.
So the people that are ripping apart the Red Sox offseason, I really hope that a lot of them are already flip flopping. A and
Mm-hmm.
B, if this thing freaking comes together, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be backtracking. There's going to be a lot of people. Sale stays healthy. If Bello comes out and asserts himself as the top of the rotation type of guy, if Tanner Hawk's there, Paxton's there, Pavetta's there, we fix the bullpen. In theory, once again, this is all paper, right? On
Yes.
theory, we fix the bullpen. In theory, this lineup looks like that they can score 8 runs every freaking night. But nobody likes the names. Nobody likes the names because Justin Turner's old. Nobody likes. Justin says, "I bet my life that the Red Sox are winning 80+ games."
Wow.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. And I'm telling you, nobody likes the Justin Turners, right? Nobody likes the Adam Duvals. Nobody likes the. What do we know? What we're going to get from Tristan Casas? Did you overplay for Yoshida, who's never played a game in American League? In the MLB. To me, it all matters on what they believe. I gotta trust Heim. I got to. I have to. I don't know where you guys stand, but I got to trust the spray charts. I got to trust the projections as much as I hate it. I got to trust that we've upgraded at almost every position aside from shortstop with Xander leaving. And I got to believe that this team is going to be better than 2022. Bottom line, it's going to be a better team.
They're a team that always goes from worst to first, back to first. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I mean, we obviously seen that a lot of times. That's a pattern with the Red Sox. That's a pattern of I don't know. I could say a pattern of a winning franchise, but you see it not to be like people always say, why are you content with the Red Sox being in last place? I'm like, I'm not content, but I know they know how to bounce back. We've seen it. I've seen it my whole childhood. They go from winning a
Absolutely.
World Series and then they go bad. But then the next year they go okay. They go to worst to first. 2013. Remember 2012, they finished
Yeah.
terrible, last in the division, the worst they've ever performed. 2013, they come back and win a World Series. 2017, they had a good year. 2018, they blew it out the water. But then 2019, they got in like last place. 2020, 2021, they're in the playoffs, 2 wins away from a World Series. So just so to show you that the Red Sox, yeah, they're consistently inconsistent at that way of putting it, but
Yeah.
they know how to bounce back.
Well, this is something that I ask my Yankee fans, and I'm going to talk to you, Harrison, about this because I would
Yeah,
always
go
say
ahead.
to them, I would always say to them, I would, because they would say the same thing like to Rob, are you okay with going worst to first and back and forth? And I say, yes. I've witnessed 4 world championships, and my Yankee buddies in the area that I live in, I go, you guys are in the playoffs every single year, not one champion. '09 was the last time you won a championship. You know what I mean? Like, if I would tell them, would you give up every other year to be last in the AL East if it meant you were competing or winning a World Series? And they say absolutely 100%. Every single time. They go, I would rather every other year we're in last place in the division if that means I know the next year we're going to be either competing or winning a World Series. Go ahead, Harris.
Like I said, like what Red Sox fans are, we take L's this year, but we bounce back. So hopefully this could be a bounce back year for us. But if you think about the Red Sox organization, it's like a light switch to me. Because if you think about our years, we're up and down, we're up and down, we're up and down every single year. But hey, I don't mind a light switch. I don't care that we're gonna spend $10 million a year. We're not the freaking San Diego Padres. I mean, signing Bogey, signing freaking Manny Machado, Juan Soto. I mean, Jesus. But like I said, that I don't mind being honestly. So
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think if you're a Sox fan, you're at a point where you have to really be content with the last 15 plus years. Like good, bad, or indifferent. If you have the most World Series this century, there's nothing to really complain about. I mean, yeah, we can be upset that we weren't a very good team last year. There's a lot of things that went wrong last year. A lot of things that went wrong last year. Um, but going forward, Rob said it, I've said it, now Harrison is saying it. This is a team that is like the hypothetical light switch. It goes on, it goes off, it goes on, it goes off, and I will take that all day as long as I know it's going to go back on. There's some franchises
It's
that
gonna go
light
back
switch
on.
goes
It's
off.
gonna go back on,
Yeah,
Mr. Kevin.
yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot of franchises out there that light switch goes down and it never comes back on. And we are very
Yep.
fortunate that as fans that the Red Sox have been able to turn around. All right, let's talk about the sad news. Matty Barnes, designated for assignment. And I don't know. I'll give my thoughts at the end. Go ahead, Rob. What do you think about this? Good move, bad move, what?
I think it's a bad move. I'm surprised. The reason why I say it's a bad move is because why would you DFA him before you DFA Ryan Brazier or Caleb Orr? And also Justin with the thumbs down, he's saying it's a bad move too, and I agree.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Two of the worst pitchers on the team, and you're still giving them contracts where you're giving a guy who had an amazing second half, and you're putting him off the team. Now, the thing about DFAing him is if he doesn't get claimed, he can outright to free agency or he could get traded. Justin said, I said last week, and I will keep repeating it, 2013 plus 2014 equals plus 2021 is 2023. 13 gave us old guys, 14 gave us young guys at the start of a new era of the Sox. Then you have the clubhouse 5 of 21. I agree to that as well. But yeah, Matt Barnes, one of the fan favorites as well. I think that it's kind of crazy you're DFAing him, and after 2 years ago you just gave him a contract extension.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna roll that money away.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I think now there's only 3 remaining players from the 2018 team. There's Devers, Brazier,
and Sale.
So it's now it's stinks. And Matt Barnes I think he could have been good. I know it does. It's been
so
5 years?
It happens
Time
fast.
flies.
Yep. Happens
So
fast.
fast, dude. Okay, so what is my thoughts about Matt Barnes? I was like, what the fuck just happened? That's what I just felt like. We keep the parrot nose looking ass, but no, we just get rid of Matt Barnes. Meat Barnes. If you saw his first half, he was awful. He was throwing meatballs. That's why I call him Meatball Barnes. That's why I thought about him, because he was throwing like a home run every single time. It was horrible. Because we saw him against Jules, he was horrible. Because we had that thing in the bag, and guess what? It just got in the way, and just Barnes is just crazy to me. Like, we just keep the parrot nose over him. It's just crazy. It's just I don't care. I'm calling you a fucking parrot, but either way, I know I'm funny, but well, like I said. I don't know, dude. I just don't know. I'm lost for words. Why did we did this? Why did we did this? Because he had a good second half of the season, but no, we just keep Ryan Brazier just to make fun of his stupid ass nose.
And this is the thing, dude. Heim really believes that projection wise, number wise, that Brazier would be more productive than Matt Barnes this year. And to me, I don't know how.
Imagine.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
No,
Justin,
come on, Justin.
Yeah,
Justin said
Justin,
the Red
we're
Sox
not-
DFA Rafi Devers in 2025.
You know,
No, I swear. If Justin goes, if Rafi goes, he goes.
yeah. Dude, it's Matt Barnes had a great he felt like Matt Barnes again, right? Like towards the end of last year, like he started looking confident on the mound. His stuff looked like it was coming back a little bit. I still am a believer that he is a consequence of Spider Tack, and I hate to say that because he got hurt right after it, and he helped us in a World Championship in 2018. But listen, there's a lot of great pitchers out there that use Spider Tack, and it is what it is. It was part of the game. But when it comes to looking at projections and trying to put this roster together, I don't know how you designate for assignment Matty Barnes before Ryan Brazier, and I think it's and I know because I believe Heim said it this week was, he believes that Brazier is going to be more productive in 2023 than Matty Barnes, and I hope listen. Barnes is I hate to say it, but he looks like a guy that's very easy to pick on, right? Like just with his mannerisms and who he is on the mound, and he's kind of got like his, he kind of walks around with his chin in his chest and just kind of like, you're like, come on, dude, like let's get it together. But I also remember, Barnes has given us a lot of good innings too. So I'm hoping that's the case. I'm also hoping that the depth that we've added to the bullpen takes some of the pressure off Brazier, because for a while Brazier was the guy that we had to throw in some pretty serious situations that, otherwise in 2023, I don't think we're going to see him in. I don't think we're going to see him in those situations again. I think we have plenty of other arms in this bullpen now that will suffice.
Yeah.
What else we got, guys?
Let's see. There's a lot of things. That's good. We're drawing a blank right now. Usually we have a lot of ideas
dude, I had so
top.
much and I was talking, and then all of a sudden it lost me. It lost me. What do you guys got?
I got an idea. Harrison,
Go.
Since you're new here, we have not heard an all-time Red Sox lineup from you. So let's hear what you got, because me and Kevin did this before. So I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, we're putting you on the spot.
Oh, damn, dude. God,
we'll go around the table. We'll hear it again. Maybe we'll switch things up a little bit. If you had to choose, I'm going to ask you each position. You're going to tell me what player you're going to put there. Let's start off with the infield. Who's your all-time Red Sox third baseman?
Oh, my God, dude. I've been watching baseball. I've been watching baseball since 2018. Oh, God damn. How about this? I can start from the pitch. I can start from a pitcher, then a catcher, and then
whatever you got.
For pitcher, I'll say Pedro Martinez.
Good choice. Good choice.
Give me Big Papi.
All right.
Dude. How are you putting me on the spot, bro? God.
My bad. I mean, we got that. We gotta cook it up. I'll put in Dustin Pedroia in, obviously the late second base. Fair.
You gotta put him in there.
Who's your shortstop is the real question. Is it Bogarts or Noma?
I'm gonna go Bogey.
Bogey, same. I went Bogey before.
Yeah.
Who's the third baseman now? You got Mike Lowell, Kevin Youkilis, Rafi Devers. I don't know what's that. Rafi Devers.
Short time.
Kevin Youkilis, that dude was good. I love Kevin Youkilis back in the day.
Uke.
Who are you gonna put there? Let's hear it.
First base.
World Series MVP Mike Lowell.
Yep.
I love Mitchie Two Bags so much, dude. I love Mitchie Two Bags back in the day.
He was a first baseman. You put him at first.
Yeah, I'm putting Mitchie Two Bags in first.
All right. Mitch Moreland at first. All right. Who you throwing at third? Or we can go to the outfield too. We can swing to the outfield and go back to third if you need a minute.
All right.
Right field. Who's your all-time right fielders? Dwight Evans, Mookie Betts. There's some guys out there.
All right. I'm gonna go with Daddy Mookie.
Mookie Betts. Fair choice. Fair choice. By the way, guys, Mookie Betts is my boy. You guys know this. We're friends now. He follows me on TikTok. Just so I was very happy.
Awesome.
Very happy. Who's your center fielder? You got Jacoby. You got Jacoby Ellsbury. You got some Fred Lynn out there.
Jacoby Ellsbury. Oh my.
Fred Lynn, dude.
Fred Lynn
Gotta
too.
be Fred. I think I went Fred Lynn, right? I think that's what I did. I think I went
I thought you
Fred
said Sue Lynn. I was like, I don't know. I thought you said
You do
Sue
got
Lynn.
JBJ too, Jackie Bradley.
Jackie
Back in
Bradley.
2018, Jackie Bradley Jr. That'll be a different story, but JBJ.
Jaron Duran, greatest center fielder in Red Sox history. Sorry, I like to joke around. We love you, Jaron, but we love you,
Taking
bro.
shots now. We're taking shots.
Nah, I
we're
love
taking
Jaron Duran. He
shots,
replies me a
dude.
lot.
I'll take JBJ.
JBJ in center?
2018 JBJ.
All right, and then left field, we got some choices here. Benny, you got Ted Williams, the greatest left fielder in history.
Teddy Baseball.
Yeah, Ted Williams, dude.
Ted Williams, fair choice. And then
Don't forget Manny.
Manny too, Manny Ramirez.
Manny.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Left field's probably one of the tougher ones.
Manny Ramirez was a left fielder for the Red Sox for a long time.
Manny Ramirez used to be. He sometimes played DH, right? Did he used to play?
Nope. Used to be. That's Big Poppy's job.
That was Poppy. All day.
Manny Ramirez, Ted Williams, dude. That was like a. Dude, my dad told me everything about Pedro Martinez, Ted Williams, David Ortiz. I just don't listen.
We're waiting, and now we're just on the third base. You left the hole there. What's your answer for your third base? Final answer.
I said Devers. That's a baby face.
You said Devers? Oh, you going Devers? Where?
Baby face.
I'll go with Ted Williams. I love Ted
Williams and left.
Yes. I love that. Got some old school guys. Got some new school. Mitchie Two Bags was really fun to watch, and I know it was short lived in Boston, but yeah, Mitchie Two Bags.
I know he's still a Red Sox in my head.
What do you have, like 42 doubles that one year or something like that? Something crazy. Yeah, something crazy. It's a crazy amount of doubles. I think we hit our time, boys.
I think so too.
Yeah. Listen, awesome episode. As always, Rob, what do we got? We got the Instagram page is up.
Yes, sir. Instagram page is up. Follow us Inside the Sox. We got the YouTube, obviously, Grandstand Productions Inside the Sox. If you're seeing this on YouTube, click subscribe and like. Also, I just want to shout out Emma for a second. She's making the new thumbnails for us. She's a good friend of mine. She's really good at what you're doing. So if you see a new logo, if you see a new thumbnail projection, all her work. Just wanted to shout her out. She's dope. But yeah, new Instagram. Hit the follow. The Pedro. I just want to say a shout out to the Pedro Martinez Foundation for following us on Instagram. Yeah. That is the coolest thing ever. Like, honestly, if we ever got Pedro on a podcast, that would be amazing. Also, Justin and I and Harrison were talking last night. If we do ever meet for a Red Sox game and to get an in-person podcast, there is a hotel, the Tipton Hotel, aka I forget the name of the hotel, but it's like in Copley. They based it off of a real life hotel from Zach and Cody, the TV show, the Inside the Sox podcast episode from the Tipton Hotel would be a fire.
From the Tipton Hotel. This is what we're gonna do because we're trying to set up. We're trying to surprise everybody. We want to do an in-person pod episode this year, and we're gonna work towards it. We're gonna see what we can do. I just want to give two shout outs. One to Carabas for asking some tough questions at Winter Weekend and hanging around for the fans. Just awesome freaking dude. Also Corbin, Red Seat Radio. Rob mentioned it earlier. Awesome vlog on Winter Weekend. We love Corbin. We're going to have him back on the show hopefully soon. Follow Red Seat Radio. And for 5. Yeah, I guess Justin's gonna hit us with his.
Justin's gonna hit us with his Red Sox team,
so he's gonna type.
So we're still not leaving yet. So you got.
We're not leaving yet. A few more shout outs. Inside the Sox available. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, featured on Wisdom. You guys know the deal. Justin, keep rounding them off. What do you got?
Let's see, Justin. We're ready. Also, by the way, shout out to everybody who's been on this podcast, by the way. Like everybody, Jason Stalakis, Corbin. We only had 2 guests, Corbin, I think, at the moment. Yeah. But there's going to be a lot more in the works. We're not done yet. Don't worry. There's going to be some, maybe in the future we'll have big names. Maybe we'll have a baseball player on here. Maybe we'll have some big people in the Red Sox organization. We're definitely working every day. We talk about it all the time. Yeah. We're just trying to make this a big thing, and I think 2023 is going to be a big year for us. Obviously, talking like every single time. I mention this all the time. We're going to have a lot of things in the works, so don't worry. Don't give up on us yet. We got some big things, and I already know we do have a TikTok, we do have Instagram, we do have Twitter, we have everything. So we're trying to, and also, you never know. One day we might tweet and we could have a fan tune on. You never know.
Can I have a
you guys
fan
want to come
on?
here?
Yeah.
You can. We might tweet out something, do a poll, ask questions for you guys. What you guys want us to talk about? I might do that next time. See what you guys want us to talk about too. You never know. Get it all on there.
And also, we can't wait for the season starts because we're gonna have a big watch party on YouTube Live, maybe, or maybe on a different website, maybe. I don't know. It might be YouTube Live. I don't know, but I can't wait for the watch parties that we're gonna do.
We're gonna do some watch parties. We're
just gonna be on here for hours. Even though my computer's gonna be on a delay, and you guys would be pumping after me. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this team.
Yeah, very excited. Very excited.
I don't want to have awkward silence. We're trying to wait for Justin. We don't want this awkward silence for a long time.
No, we don't want it, Justin. Is it here?
Do we got it, Justin? Here we go. All right, we got it.
All right, here we go. Rob, can you read it?
Make it a little bigger, Justin, for a second. The writing.
I can zoom into my computer.
Hold on, guys.
Hold on. Everybody, stay put.
Yeah, take your time, Justin. Mr. Mudslide boy.
Oh, yeah, Justin's having a good time, by the way, guys.
I mean, I can tell.
A lot of mudslides today. So now we got.
I mean,
he's got the sunglasses on. He's ready to rock and roll.
He's ready for the mudslides, dude. When he says mudslides, he always smiles.
Also, make sure you guys, I'm telling you guys, follow us on TikTok because you never know who can follow you on TikTok. You never know who can see you on TikTok. Here we go. Justin's popping it up on the screen. It's taking a little while to load. I'm going to talk over it while it loads. Here we go. First base, we got Mo Vaughn. Second base, we got Dustin Pedroia. Shortstop, we got Noma. Of course, third base, he got his boy Rafi. We got in left field, Teddy Ballgame. Great choice. Center field, Manny Ramirez. Ooh, that's a tough, interesting choice. Manny in center. I might flip Mookie to center, but he got Mookie in right. He's got Big Papi as the DH, and obviously the starting pitching, Pedro Martinez.
Awesome.
And that right there, I think that's going to wrap us up on a high note. Justin's
absolutely
the great team, W team. Thank you guys as always. So I'm going to let Kevin do the outro because Kevin always does the outro. Let's hear it, Kevin.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Stay tuned. Hit that click, like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Stay safe. Go Sox.
Go Sox. We love that dirty water, baby.
Love that dirty water.
Dirty water. Go Sox, baby.